Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Haziq-3202037092 and my matrix number is 3202037092. So today I'm going to present to all of you about a formworks. So the content that we have in this presentation is number 1 is introduction, number 2 is formwork principles, number 3 is formwork classifications, number 4 is material used, number 5 type of formwork, number 6 is advantages and disadvantages, number 7 is formwork particular risk control measures, and the last one, number 8, is safe work practices. Okay, for introduction, formwork is a device usually made out of timber, steel or many other kinds of materials destined to contain the fresh concrete in order for it to get the desirable shape as set in project. The forming work accounts for a large part of the costs for the building shell. The biggest share of these costs goes to the workers' wages. So investing the efficient formwork equipment help you to build a faster, therefore cut costs, and also you can be much surer of meeting deadlines. So for function, formwork must contain fresh concrete until it can hold shape, support fresh concrete until it can support itself, keep water in the mix until hydration occurs, create a work platform for a worker and plant. Formwork principles, basic requirements. Forms must be strong enough to withstand the loads, rigid or stiff enough to maintain their shape and to prevent excessive deflection during the pressing and curing of concrete. Joint in forms must be tight enough to prevent wet concrete, water and cement paste from leaking through. Forms must be as simple to build as circumstances will allow. Form section must be of size that can be lifted into a place without too much difficulty and transported from one place to another. Stay within the dimensional tolerance. Forms must be designed for many uses as possible if appropriate. Requirements for formwork. So for reusable, can be used more than one time for the same repeated dimensions, possible to be dismantled, which is easy to disable the formwork component. The third one is economy, which is considered to construction, labor, machine and material costs, withstand safely all the loads, like consider all loads, gravity load, wind load, depth load and other load. Control size and surface, can be able retain the shape of formwork. Incontaminated, which is make sure the surface of formwork is clean and free from all debris. No lost constituents, which is make sure all the joint parts is completely tight and no presence of a hole or gap to avoid the leakage of the concrete mix. Formwork classification, there are different ways to classify the formwork system. So number 1 is traditional versus modern system, old sticky by sticky versus innovative approaches. The second one is reusable versus lost form. Lost formwork forms part of permanent structure and by definition can be only used once. Like example is precast panels, steel tubes and bond deck and other things. So the last one is static and movable climbing forms. Movable or climbing forms relocate themselves to the next location using an integral power source. Example like slip form or jump form. Material used for formwork, which is pressed steel plate, structural or exterior plywood, plastic, aluminium, timber and steel. So there is a lot of type of formwork. So we have EPS foundation formwork, conical formwork, straight wall formwork, tower formwork, permanent formwork, curved wall formwork, column formwork. We also have a column formwork and complex formwork, and also elliptical column. So advantage and disadvantages. Advantages: great wall tensile and impact strength, exclusive mineral without plastic addition, fire resistant classification A1, reduction of the carbonation depth, and directional reinforcement, optimal integration with the concrete, the same strain behavior as normal concrete, perfect concrete protection, smooth and closed surface on demand specified surface structures, and also cost reducing and economic. Disadvantage for the formwork is poor concrete surface finish. Concrete must be high early strength, high concentration of resources, both labor and equipment when operating. The operation of the slip form can stop as a result of any of the component encounters a problem. Have to ensure that the form is climbing literal in straight path, as many experience literal displacement. An example is vertical tolerance must be controlled within the limit. So, and the last one is high cost and long time for initial setup stages. Formwork particular risk control measure. So we have 4, and the number 1 is an employer must ensure that formwork complies with AS3610 1995 formwork for concrete. Number 2 is an employer must ensure that formwork is designed, constructed and maintained so as to support safely all loads that are to be placed on it. And the number 3 is an employer must ensure that before the concrete form is inspected by qualified engineer and is certified by the qualified engineer also as safe for its intended purpose and the loads that will be placed on it. The last one, the number 4, is sub-clause does not apply if the deck of the formwork is less than 3 meters above the lower surrounding ground level, or the area of the formwork deck is less than 16 square meter and is designed to hold not more than 2.5 cubic meter or 6 tons of wet concrete, whichever measure is appropriate. So safe work practice. The last one is this is the last one for this presentation. So possible hazard associated with the use of formwork are formwork collapsing, falling from height, falling object, and hearing damage. Installing formwork, ensure that formwork is not removed before the specified concrete strength is achieved. Install a suitable type of safety screen to enclose the area and to prevent the accidental fall of worker or material. So working at high, form workers should not walk on form ply after the application of stripping on. Barricades or cover should be provided for all floor or deck openings. Ensure that all vertical reinforcing steel is bent or kept to eliminate implements of form worker falls. So that's all from me. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.